if you're one of those people who thinks frying your fresh fish is the only way to go, you really got to give this recipe a try. Joe here from SCHEELS Home and Hardware with What's Cooking. Today we're going to be making some fish tacos. Not just fish tacos, but we're going to be making Minnesota caught walleye fish tacos out on the Blackstone. We're going to be making homemade salsa with some pineapple, fresh tomatoes, cilantro. It's going to be super fresh, citrusy, really light and healthy for this summer. Let's get started.
All right, the first thing we're gonna do is start our salsa. We're gonna chop up some fresh pineapple. We're gonna cut that into about 1/2-inch cubes, and then we're gonna hit it on the Blackstone a little bit later. You wanna chop a little bit bigger than you would normally do because we are gonna be cooking these ingredients down. Now we're gonna take about 3 cups of cherry tomatoes. Again, we're just gonna cut them in half. We're not gonna be chopping these up super fine. We're not gonna be hitting it with a food processor or anything like that. We're gonna be roasting them. You wanna have these ingredients big enough where they're easy to handle on the grill. Now it's time to cut up our jalapeno. We are going to cut these in half. We're gonna core them out, and we're gonna make sure we take all the flesh off these jalapenos and all the seeds out as well. That's where a lot of the heat in those peppers are gonna be carried, and we don't want that to be too spicy. And then last, we're gonna be taking 1/2 of a red onion, and this is something that I'm gonna dice up a little bit. We're gonna wanna chop that red onion. I like to use red onion more than yellow and more than white in salsa just because it does have a little bit more zing to it. Now it's time to get our fish prepared. The walleye is a great fish for this. I also like using panfish. My kids love fishing for them, and they work really well for the smaller chunks that you need. About 1 inch to 1.5 inch chunk of fish per bite is perfect. I add a little bit of olive oil, and then we use Malcolm Reed's Grande Gringo as a seasoning. Season it up, make sure every piece of fish is pretty heavily coated with that seasoning, and then it's gonna be ready to cook. We're gonna start with the salsa. Put your peppers down first. I like to check the Blackstone's heat by adding a little bit of water to the grill. You'll know it's ready to cook when it boils easily very quickly. Now the big thing with the peppers, you want them to start blistering. That's gonna be a good indicator that they're ready to be pulled off. Then it's time for the rest of the ingredients to go on. The few things that you're gonna look for, again, you want those tomatoes to blister just like the peppers. You're gonna want them to become tender. The pineapple, as long as your tomatoes are cooked and your onions are cooked, the pineapple will be ready to go as well. You're looking for the onions to be almost translucent. Now our peppers are done as well. We're gonna take those off the grill and we're gonna get ready for the fish. We're gonna add a little bit of oil to the griddle so it doesn't stick. And the big thing with fresh lake fish is you're looking for white flesh. Whether that's walleye, crappie, you get a northern pike and it has that yellow flesh, that will turn white as you cook as well. As soon as it starts to flake and you get that nice white flesh, it is ready to go. Now I like to throw my tortillas on the griddle as well. They're gonna start to puff up and they'll crisp on the edge. They'll be nice and tender to fill with toppings. I like to use the Blackstone's taco rack to make it easy to serve up multiple tacos at once. Now it's time to start chopping up the ingredients for that salsa. We're gonna finely chop our jalapenos. We're gonna take the rest of the ingredients we hit on the Blackstone, the tomato, the pineapple, and the onion, and we're gonna start chopping that up as well, incorporating it with the pepper. And after all of that's chopped, then it's time to start adding some of our fresh ingredients. The granulated garlic goes in. Now it's time to chop up some fresh cilantro. I like to cut up some of the stems and add them as well. They add a ton of flavor. Take a full lime, and I pull a few thinly sliced pieces of lime off to garnish with, and I use the rest of the lime for lime juice. That nice citrus zing in that salsa that I look for, it's just awesome. With the avocado, you really should add this right at the end because it is such a delicate fruit. So we're gonna chop this up and we're gonna just lightly incorporate it into the salsa. I don't add any salt to my salsa until the end so I can taste it and see how much we need. It is easy to add salt to a dish. It I have not found a good way to get the salt back out. Now it's time to serve. We're gonna put the walleye on the bottom of the taco. Then we're gonna add our fresh salsa to the top of that walleye. And we're gonna hit it with a little bit of shredded cheese, and we'll be ready to eat.
All right, we just got these tacos done off the Blackstone, got them put all together on our taco rack. You know, it didn't take a lot. We just threw the fish on there with a little bit of our seasoning. We did a little chopping. Everything is super fresh, super tasty. I'm gonna try one out. So good. If you're catching any fish this summer, definitely give this recipe a try. If you have any questions, stop on by one of the stores, and we'll see you next time on What's Cooking.